Hey, welcome to Desert Bounty. Here we are today in the high elevations, the Arizona desert, about 5,000 feet above sea level. And I got some grapes here from my neighbor Brenda. And I put them in a bucket of water for a couple of weeks. And I've got two primary shoots here that are budding out really nice. So instead of keeping them in the bucket, got to get them in the ground. And just because these here haven't budded doesn't mean we're going to count them out, but we're going to space them. So this one here, I'm going to put right here. I prepared the bed here with some compost and some straw. I dug it out about 6-8 inches. There's a lot of rocks down in there, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Got a squall front moving in, and it's almost unbearable. Right here on this shoot here, I'm not going to trim it like most people would. It's drawing up good water, and the buds are coming up, so I'm just going to leave it. Over here on the end of this trench is the deepest part. I got it down about 8-10 inches, and I'm going to set that first one with the good green shoots on it down as deep as I can. And surprisingly, I dug down here, and there's actually moisture in the soil. It's kind of cool because walking around, it's so dry you wouldn't think there's moisture trapped underneath there. I have some footage. I'll walk around and show you some of the other vegetation that's doing really well. And this is why, just 6-8 inches down, it's nice and wet. So this trench here I prepared with mulch, compost, some straw, alfalfa chunks left over, and some topsoil, and I blended it all together. And after I excavated the trench, which I didn't film here, I added all that mulch in there. And this is what I'm going to set these grapevine shoots in. So 2 of these are budding really well. I showed here in the very first part of this video, 2 of them have buds coming up from just sitting in the bucket in the water. And the rest of them, I'm going to go ahead and set in the soil and moisten, because it's been my experience with grapes before that even if they don't have green shoots coming, you should still just take a chance. And here in the second section of trench, I've got one area here that's down about 7 or 8 inches below grade, and that's where I'll set the second one. And like I said before, down there in the soil, it's really damp. I was surprised. I got some cow dung mixed in there. And then what I'll do is I'll just take the other branches and just set them in the trench. Wet it down really good, and then I'll build a rock check dam around it to try to hold the moisture. And we'll see what happens. As I was planting these, I came across another section that I noticed had some green on it, which I didn't notice before. And this one here, I saw, and I decided I'll come over to the camera and show you. There's a little green shoot right there. So I got to give this one some special attention. Try to get it down as deep as I can. There's a rock right there, so I had to kind of go to the left. Now, I'll come back after I got all these planted. I'll build a rock check dam around the whole thing, make a little ground level raised bed. And then I'll build some juniper branches, vertical, coming up, just like a fence post. And then I'll screw a piece of juniper across the top. and that's what I'll train the grapes to move along. I have string and some hemp rope and some other things. We'll see what I come up with. But this wood break behind it is going to serve a couple of purposes here. I planted these up against that deadfall. It's kind of weird looking at myself talking and talking, doing a voiceover. And that's what I'm talking about here. Is I'm talking about never underestimate a grape. Now this one here, I'm going to break in half just to test the green. And there's one that's got a bud. You can just barely see it starting. Although I think it was a previous clip. I broke one and brought it over so you could see that the inside is really green, doing well. This deadfall behind it is kind of a shade barrier. It's also a windbreak. It's also a shade. You know, it helps keep the ground cool. If I plant these just right out in the open, direct sunlight, the sun will just bake it. I mean, it's brutal here, man. Trust me, it's brutal. So anything I can do to help the plant, you know, doesn't need direct sunlight all the time. And when I build a trellis around this, you'll see. And then to the right of the video here, along this break, I'll just continue doing a ground level raised bed, maybe 5 to 7 feet wide, right off of this deadfall. And I'll plant a variety of plants along that. And then about 10 feet away from that, I'm going to do corn. So it's going to be a progressive thing. Corn, I'll do the Three Sisters. Corn, beans, and squash. We'll see how that all turns out. So that's coming in the next week or two. I've got a friend that's going to be stopping out, hanging out with me for however long he wants to. Likes to garden, I guess. Has done this before in not this region, but in another region. And he's going to help me out. Maybe he'll let me do a cameo with him in the video and I can introduce you. Hey, this is Desert Bounty. Thanks for watching.